Okay, hi guys, welcome to this video that me and Joel are doing. We're going to be just having a chat about the last few months. Obviously you're back at school today, and we just hope that everything's gone really well, that it's been a good one, and yeah, we're just going to chat about the last few months, well, the last year.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Because obviously this started nearly a year ago, really,
Yeah,
isn't it?
a year.
As we're filming this, you guys will have just gone back to school, or be going back this week, or maybe started last week, as it's Monday.
Monday the 8th.
Monday the 8th.
Monday the 8th, the start of the opening up. And then over the year, we've obviously had a lot of change. We've had to do a lot of filming. We've done sort of Zoom, and we've done videos, isolation station.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know how you guys have found it, but obviously it's been really strange for us, hasn't it, Joel?
Yeah, we've really struggled with it. I just remember it's that sort of first day of lockdown. Owen put up a video on the Facebook and on the Instagram, and I got a message from him sort of either late that day or the next day saying, could I borrow some equipment? And I just went, well, I'm not going to be using it, sort of thing, because we're now in lockdown. We're not having as much normal stuff as going on. So I took all of my equipment down to the church, and from there we started filming the continuation of the isolation station. If you haven't seen it, do scroll back through the past year, try and find it. Yeah. How was it for you, Owen? That first sort of change, from normal youth work to filming.
It was really weird. It was really odd. We had, we couldn't do Fridays, and I remember just feeling really gutted about that. We were just starting new series and all of that, and it was really strange. You just thought to yourself, well, why has this come now? Yeah, it was difficult. It was challenging. I remember those first sort of few weeks of not knowing what was happening. That was the big thing. You'd get updates and you get messages, and people would sort of go, what's happening now? And it's like, well, we'll let you know when we know, and having to do sort of updates saying, I'm really sorry, we're not going to be able to do this and not going to be able to do that. And yeah, so it was March. We'd just come back from youth retreat, hadn't we?
Yeah.
Just a little while before. And obviously during youth retreat we weren't going, oh, better make the most of this could be our last youth retreat. We didn't even think about it like that. We just were enjoying normal.
Yeah, just enjoying what God was doing, playing games, being out and about.
Yeah, and we literally went from being sort of running around into the woods and having a great time to then within a matter of weeks being shut down and not being able to do anything.
It's one of those things, actually. I remember I've been saying this to people. Actually, one of those things for you guys and from us, actually, we'll be telling our grandchildren about this, how we survived through this pandemic. And actually, we just really want to encourage you guys. You guys have done so well this year.
Yeah.
In a year which has been really tough. Actually, you guys have done so well. You guys have, you have everything that's been put against you, you've gone through it, from having to go onto Zoom, which obviously isn't the best, but I've really enjoyed Zoom. I don't know about Owen, how have you felt?
Mix.
Yeah.
I remember at the start it being exciting and it being actually there were some positives. I remember people from for instance, people team and stuff coming home from work and not having to quickly get ready and run out again. There were some real positives to that. Obviously over time we've come to hate Zoom in some ways.
Yeah.
But it's been such an amazing resource, and God has really blessed us with that. I mean, if you think about if this had happened 3 or 4 years ago, maybe longer, 10 years ago, it would have been so odd.
Yeah, no, it's been really good to, because we were just starting up discipleship hubs as well, weren't we?
Yeah.
Had that in March, and that's had to all go onto Zoom.
Yeah, so we got, in January, we started, that was when I announced that we wanted to do discipleship hubs and sort of that vision behind it. And then it became very clear come February that was going to be difficult. I was like, I want them launched by April, and then Zoom and everything and people trying to get together. And actually it wasn't until sort of May, June time that we managed to get them together, was it?
No.
But I do think overall they've been a success.
Yeah. I think we've really seen, I think definitely from my group, from my guys, I think I've really seen you guys grow in what we've been looking through when we've been looking through that alpha course and stuff. I think actually, it's really been good for you guys, and actually, I'm pretty sure all discipleship hubs have had some great times, and really, really, I think all of us leaders can say we've seen you guys grow this year, even though it might not feel like it because of what's gone on. You guys have grown because you've been able to adapt to, the pandemic, and you've been able to actually still, hear the talks, and still, we still hear you guys pray and, just meet with God in these times where actually it's really difficult. But actually, you guys are still growing and you still adapted to it. And actually that's something like, actually, we're proud of, is you guys adapting to this. Yeah, I think actually during this walk we wanted to reflect on the last year, but we also wanted to encourage you guys. Like for me, I felt God was saying, actually, while you're back at school today, just be joy bringers. Bring that joy, bring what God really wants you to do, which is bring joy. You guys know him, you know what he's done, and you have a reason to be joyful, even in a tough time. So yeah, I just really want to share that for you guys as well.
Yeah, I think there's, during this time there's been a real specific calling to show that, isn't there? To be joy bringers, and to during a time that's been quite dark and depressing for many people, lonely. Actually, the people of God still gather. The people of God still have something to bring to a world, and I think that's really, really important. And yeah, just agree with Joel. During this time, when you've got that opportunity to see your friends again, to spend time, to do those things, be joyous people, and share what God has given you. And obviously we've really enjoyed these times, and we know that you guys have had highlights too. So here are just a few highlights that our team have had over the last few months.
So we've got quite a few highlights over this past year. A lot of them have been in our youth sessions. It's been really, really cool. Get to know people, and especially with breakout rooms, we get to know people more, talk through topics that we've gone through in our youth sessions. Another really great thing has been our youth socials. The baking has certainly been delicious, and actually making all the different things and seeing people's creations, it's been really cool to do. And then another great highlight is probably the welly run. So what we had to do is fill up our wellies with water, and then I think it was like a 50-metre sprint or something, but our garden's 10 metres, so I had to run back and forth 5 times. And then the other thing was I had holes in my wellies, so I had to hold my hand over my wellies to keep the water inside. But obviously it was all spilling out anyway from running. But yeah, that's been a really great highlight.
We definitely enjoyed Messy Games Night. It was very funny to watch. And I think one of my favourites was I was sat on the sofa, and then Mark came in with a pot of jam, and he was trying to make a moustache for himself out of a pot of jam. I think that was the challenge, to make a moustache out of something. And he just covered his face all the way around his mouth with jam, and it didn't really look like a moustache, but it looked very funny. It looked like he just shoved his face in a pot of jam.
It was very tasty.
But yeah, no, we definitely enjoyed the socials. It's been really great to have fun together and get to know people.
Hi everyone, Owen asked us to compose a quick video just to say kind of any encouragements or life lessons or anything that we've learned basically during this last year. It's been a very long year, to say the least. I think one thing that I have come to realise is it's been very chaotic, it's been very stressful at times, it's been very emotional and draining, and all the other kind of emotions you can think of. But one thing I have learned amongst all of this chaos and all this flurry that's going on around us is that God hasn't changed. God hasn't distanced himself. God hasn't taken a step back and kind of let us get on with it. God hasn't looked at the situation and thought, this has got out of my control, I don't want anything to do with it. God has been in control and has been part of everything that's been going on. He knew it was going to happen, and it's been so for me in particular, comforting knowing that when things have got really stressful and things have been the most scary or the most kind of uncertain, it's been really comforting knowing that God hasn't distanced himself from me. He has been there alongside me the whole time, and he has had his hand in everything. And from all things that maybe seem bad or difficult, God always bears fruit from it. There's always good that comes from it. So yeah, for me, I think that's been one of the biggest life lessons is just knowing that even when things seem so dark and distant, in the valleys of the darkness, God has always been there and is a guiding light for us. And I think something else I've learned from a personal point of view is taking time to just relax. I normally live life at 90 miles an hour, and COVID has really shown me the importance of rest and taking time to take a step back and reevaluate how I'm spending my time. Instead of filling my days up and being super busy, making time to actually sit and dwell in his spirit, and to read my Bible more, and to kind of reach out to people who I don't normally get to speak to, and also just enjoying rest, enjoying that, because it's a God-given thing, rest. It's a thing that we should do more of, and I think I've learnt the importance of spending time resting in his presence.
Hi guys, I hope you're all doing alright. So my highlights from last year, which obviously was a really crazy year, I've managed to whittle down to 3. My first highlights, I absolutely loved the messy games nights, the scavenger hunts, watching you guys drink disgusting concoctions of milk and juice and coffee, watching you guys run around with wellies full of water, watching you guys have loads of things on your face, watching Mark break an apple in 2 with his forehead. They have been really great times together, and that they're memories that I'll look back on with real fondness. I've also absolutely loved the hubs, getting involved in that. Our heart behind them obviously is just that chance to be together, to grow together, to learn together, and to encourage each other. And I've also really enjoyed having guest speakers on. The likes of Duncan Pratt, and we've had Margaret and Sandra and Brenda came and did a talk to the girls. They were all real highlights for us. What a joy it's been this last year to see you guys grow, to have people come and input into your lives, and also just have a great time together. It's been crazy, but there's definitely things we'll look back on and we'll remember and we'll laugh about for many years to come. So great job for hanging in there. You guys are really, really great, and we're so looking forward to seeing you in person very soon.
2020-21, it's been a hell of a time, hasn't it? It's been difficult, it's been challenging, but you know, God's been really faithful, and I think we've had some great times, and we know that God's got amazing things in the future. God's got great things for you, God's great things for us, and great things for this town. So don't lose hope, don't lose a love for what God is doing. Stay stuck into him and stay secure in his love. He loves you dearly and wants to know you. If you haven't been sort of linked in to Christchurch over the last little while, then please do. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to know what God's been doing in your life, or just what's been going on in your life. Thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you very, very soon.
See you in a bit, guys.